Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our little vlog. This is Devin once again, and I'm going to introduce one of our new team members in our EMO department. So EMO stands for Education, Outreach, Marketing, and Events. So we're in the office upstairs when we're normally at work, but today we are all, well, for now, we're working from home. And so I'm the Education Outreach Coordinator, and we are going to introduce our new team member, part of our Oryana family. Siena, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Siena and I started at Oryana last month. I guess time is really weird now since we're all like from home. But yeah, so I came in at a really fun, crazy time.
Yeah, we tried to make sure she knew that normally it's not like this. Normally we can go into schools and educate and, give out samples, but that's okay. We'll get back. So what is a little bit of your background for our viewers who don't know you quite yet?
Sure. So yeah, it kind of feels like a lot has led me to here. So for the past 4 years, I was living in Ann Arbor, going to school at Michigan. And when I got my degree in anthropology, I was kind of like, okay, I know a lot about bones, and that's about it, you know. So I've been practicing yoga for years, and just finally something clicked, and I was like, oh, I'm a yoga instructor, and that's what I want to do. And so I kind of went on this crazy journey to Indonesia and got certified in yoga there. And that was really the kind of catalyst to the health journey I had been on my whole life. So, like, starting in high school, I started experimenting with different types of diets. I was like paleo and all kinds of, everything that you do when you're like in college. So, um, finally kind of ended up in this like organic, plant-based, like whole foods place. And that was really what I felt the best at. And I loved my co-op in Ann Arbor, but when I moved to Traverse City, it was like, Dad, there's no Whole Foods here. Like, what do I do? And he was like, you'll be fine. Just, we'll go to Oryana. And so Oryana was kind of the place he took me to say, you'll make it here, they have everything you need. You'll be fine up north. And I went to high school in Cadillac, so just about an hour away. It wasn't like I was so unfamiliar, but I was a little bit scared about, moving back up here and not having those resources, those like, having lots of organic options and, you know, ground flax seeds, just like stuff like that, you can't always find at conventional grocery stores. So about at that time, my sister started working for Oryana. And so she started working in the bakery, and she is in culinary school. So we have always kind of shared this passion of food too. She doesn't have the health side so much. She like loves cakes and pastries.
Hey, we all have things in moderation, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah. And she's such a gem. She'll like do good vegan desserts for us too. But yeah, so that was my kind of like intro to Oryana. And so through my sister, I really kind of got the feel that it's such an amazing culture, and that like the employees are treated so well, and the kind of family aspect of it. And so I had just kind of been cruising around on the website and saw this open job, and it's like the job description, like the three things were the past three like work experience I had had. So I was like, oh, I guess that's me. Yeah. And like when I interviewed with Stephanie, our boss, I was just kind of like, it was like we were just chatting and just hanging out. And I was like, even during this interview, I was like, yeah, this really feels like home, like family. And so, yeah, so now I'm here.
Which we're so happy, and I can't wait until we can actually work together
Yeah.
in the same room That'd be great. I understand that completely. I had a similar path to wellness as well. You know, health and nutrition were always a big thing in my family. And I became vegetarian. Oh gosh, it's been 13 years now.
Wow,
Um, yeah, and it just, again, it works for my body. Each one of us is different. And so it just depends on our bodies.
yeah. Mhm.
And then I'm also a yoga instructor. So it's just nice to have another yogi in the office. And it's also just goes to show how a lot of our employees at Oryana have so many different talents. But it's great that we share this love for nutrition or for health or just for bettering the community. And so, yeah, it's just really fantastic to have you here.
Thank you.
So, welcome. Everyone welcomes Siena. Woohoo! Yeah. So, what else did you want to share with our audience today? Were there any recipes that you've been working on in quarantine lately?
Yes. So, because my sister and I have just been in the kitchen, it's actually been really, really fun for us to work together because um, we're 3 years apart. So, we've never really been at the same stage of life. Um, but now we really are. And like, it's so cool because has this like formal education and really kind of like amazing chemical understanding of food that I don't have as much. And so I kind of have this, more nutrition, more holistic understanding. And then she kind of has this like understanding of like enzymes and stuff that is like beyond me. So it's like so cool for us to like come together. So what have we been working on? A couple days ago, we perfected our vegan chocolate mousse recipe, and I'll like bring up a picture. So I'm sure Louise will post this picture when we get it. But this was our
Yes, we'll absolutely post a picture and recipe too. So,
so this was the chocolate mousse, and it was so
oh,
and
yeah.
it was like, we always kind of, if Meryl can't tell that it's plant-based, then it's like nice, like we did it. you know
I
uh,
understand completely. My sister also is 3 years, where she's 3 years older than me, so it's funny that yeah. But she's been vegan for a really long time, and so when we cook or bake or things like that, we're like, you would never be able to tell that this is vegan, or
yeah,
yeah.
it's awesome. Yeah, so chocolate mousse, and then I'm working on a breakfast, like an oatmeal recipe. So I was kind of inspired by golden milk, the like turmeric lattes. And so basically adding a turmeric latte to oatmeal. And girl, it is so good. And it's so warming. And I've been getting into Ayurvedic eating and kind of eating for the seasons, and like of course with yoga, that's the sister science, so it's kind of like impossible to not think this way. So yeah, and kind of because we're in this time where humans get so much kind of nutrient from each other that we're kind of having to replace that with other things. So eating more warming foods is really something that is filling me up right now. Like, yeah.
I completely get that. I've been having oatmeal almost every day, which now I'm gonna have to try with
Yeah,
turmeric and a little
yeah,
ginger. Yum.
so
Oh,
good. So I'll send you the recipe we like, and then I'm interested to see because everybody likes their spices a little bit different.
yeah.
So maybe we can like find a good,
Happy medium. Yeah, yeah. I'm usually I like my spices pretty rich. Like I can't stop making curry chickpea lately.
so
It's just, oh my gosh, just mash and oh, it's so good. Yeah. So I understand that warming, kind of, we're all craving the sunshine and that just that space and that peace, especially in this time. I feel like we can find that through food and sharing it with others too, just getting that connection again.
yeah,
Yeah.
and like normally my family, the four of us are all have different schedules and doing different stuff, and I'm teaching classes and whatever. And so us being able to sit down for like not just dinner, but like kind of all of our meals, we're like able to really kind of connect over this food, and it just feels so special. It's like, kind of a privilege that is like a silver lining to, everyone being at home. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. It's just those little times that we can find gratitude, which has been brought up a little bit. I mean, pretty much every little vlog we've done is just expressing gratitude and just being able to slow down, being able to slow down and take the time to cook or to spend time with others, not really having like a goal in mind, just being like, hey, let's just cook together and see what happens. Or let's just go for a bike ride and just bike around. We don't have to do anything in particular. It's just being together and being healthy and like just sharing each other's company has been so good. It's been
yeah.
so nice.
It's like I always remember one of the girls I did my yoga teacher training with. She was French, so English was her second or maybe third language. And she said so beautifully, when did we go from human being to human doing? And it was like, oh my god, yes. Like, we used to spend a lot of time just being and just digesting, or just, being with yourself and being with your surroundings. And especially Americans are just go go go. So it's like, this worldwide grounding of like go to your room. And so
Yes, absolutely. We really do pride ourselves on how busy we can be. And you'll notice when you ask people like, "How are you?" and they're like, "Oh, busy." You're like, "Oh, that's not a feeling, you guys." That's and I've totally done that myself, like and for some reason it feels good to be like, "Oh yeah, I got this done." And of course we can be happy that we were productive, but sometimes being productive doesn't mean just checking off a list. It's about, you know, like you said, digesting feelings, food, slowing down. Like that's why I think this time can be especially hard for some of us because we don't allow ourselves that space to process or to feel or to like just let stuff come up. And so I know that we're getting yogi on our audience today. If they've been in our classes, they know. But it's a special time to be able to, yeah, learn how to process, learn how to slow down, learn how to be okay with whatever shows up because again, we're adding on to that resilience or strengthening that resilience within ourselves. So
yeah, I found it interesting. Like, this thought kind of hit me the other day. Like, when people are saying we're stuck at home, your body is your home. You've always been there. you know? I was just kind of like, yeah, you're in your physical house, but like your house, you're well acquainted with. And if you're not, this gift of time and space is like, use it. Oh,
absolutely. And also, I've heard that too, like people referring to their houses as like these caves or these things they don't want to go back to, where it's like, well, then that's something you should work on. Make your house your sanctuary. Like, I understand, yes, I still don't want to be in my house all the time. That's not healthy. We need to go outside, we need to connect with nature and everything, but we also want to feel at home when we're at home. And so if there's something you can change, like there are so many different resources online to feng shui your house or, whatever you want to do. But again, we have quite a bit of time on our hands right now. So it's a good opportunity to try to warm things up or make things more comfortable for you because this is something none of us have experienced before. So
and it's like, how do you find ways to nourish yourself, like, replacement nutrients, like, and it's kind of funny just because, like, I guess I think about everything in food, but like, I'm allergic to shellfish, and so that has always, and and I'm also Sicilian, so like this Mediterranean and not being able to eat seafood like never agreed with my family. So like, you find a replacement nutrient and something that will fill that salty, fatty, fish type of thing, but you know not that. So in that way, it's like, okay, if what do you need? Find out, what it is really that your body needs, or that, your mind needs at this moment, and there's not just one source of that. And that's kind of what I've been finding, that like there isn't just one way to get what you get from a hug or from, like, so it's really interesting, like this nourishment of where it comes from, and it's like anywhere, everywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. I know it's a good time for us to again just learn a little bit more about ourselves, what we need, find those alternatives, because we'll be able to get back to those soon. It just is that
Yeah.
time that we need to take to be safe and to keep those that are vulnerable safe. So I guess we will end here. But are there any final words you'd like to say to our audience today?
Just if you see me around, say hi and please introduce yourself. And like we said, we're yoga teachers, but we really just are here to connect. Like we have a lot to teach each other, so please let's connect. And yeah, like on Instagram or on any kind of platform you find us on, for the time being, until we're cruising around the store again.
Sounds great. Thank you again for your time today, Sienna. We'll see you soon.
Bye guys.